Shut up and sit down.
Good to be back for another episode of this podcast.
It's still officially not really named podcast.
Yeah, generic podcast. I've just been calling it just because
It is a generic podcast. Someone's calling you.
that was my alarm to wake up. Because I'm supposed to have a package, my Countach manga, delivered.
Oh, yeah.
The next few hours, so. Because somehow I can go and win auctions and then pay for them, and then less than a week later, all my stuff comes. Because
That's good shipping.
Which is weird because they all come from mainland, so it's not like it's just getting shipped across Okinawa. It has to take a boat. But because the first one I won, I paid for it, and then 2 days later it arrived, and it was free shipping, and that was
Hell yeah.
first series, and also the reason I really want a Ruby Stone Red Porsche at some point is my favorite Carrera, which is fantastic because it's literally about Porsches, and they do it weird because they go and they actually paint. The only color they use in the manga is pink. Like, the car's pink, her hair is sometimes pink. Everything else is black and white. Besides, and then...
Selective color, yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I saw a picture of the fucking Porsche in there. Painted. You read that. I really just saw you too. But, yeah, it's fucking wild. I paid 3,000 yen for 24 books, which is, for people that, don't know conversions, it's really cheap. It's like 25 bucks, which is really fucking cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. And those look in nice shape, too. Thumbed up and cracked and falling apart.
Yeah, no, there's no tears. There's nothing like there's... There we go.
Pink.
Yeah. But they even have like a little fucking slipcover thing right there. They're nice. For what it is. But...
Shit, yeah, man.
Definitely a good series for anybody, that likes to read. Especially for guys, because it does actually show tits in it. Which is weird, because it doesn't, but it's still a good story.
What do men like? Cars and boobies. Got it.
Well,
I'm on it.
To be
Here's
fair,
24 books.
you can't, I don't think you can, it's because it's backwards, so you can't read that. But the actual publisher is Virgin Comics. So.
I mean, comics are for virgins. I'll come out and say it. I'll be the one to garner that hatred. You read comics, I'm totally fine with you hating me. Nothing you can do to me from your mom's basement. I'll never be there, so.
Jesus. But, yeah, so. And then the other one is the Countach manga, which is literally about another one that's never been translated in English, besides fan translations. And that one's about a guy that basically sends a letter to a billionaire that wants to sell his limited edition fucking LP something not Porsche, Lamborghini Countach, and he gets it, and then he ends up buying it for basically the equivalent of like $20,000 from the guy, and then it's just his life with
a Countach.
Yeah, like owning a Countach, like
having Lamborghini problems.
Yeah, so it's still pretty good. I mean, it has some very interesting ones because one of the characters that challenges him to a race is a C5 Corvette. And it's the most American kind of person because, it has flames painted on the side. The person has flame tattoos, on her hip bones. And it's just really cringe, but it's really funny to read at the same time.
Be the Americans Japan thinks you are.
Exactly. So, yeah, but it's still a pretty good series. Yeah, that should be coming in. That's only 28 volumes. But Yeah, that was, and then I bought like the other books, which I think I told you what I bought, but now I can actually show you was Jeremy Clarkson's For Crying Out Loud.
Yeah, Clarkson.
James May's Car Fever. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
That's a large book that's not entirely about motorcycles.
Yeah, no. Mouse. Because nothing better than, being comfortable learning about history.
Yeah, I've read Mouse. I think we read it in high school. We also read Night by Elie Wiesel. It was his personal account of surviving the concentration camps. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not a
book for the faint-hearted.
Kid-friendly book, but, reading it in 10th grade.
Yeah. It is good for, people that age to read it and hopefully get a better worldview than what adults have nowadays in America.
Yeah, and I'm entirely fine with freedom of speech and freedom of expression and all of that until you become a Nazi, because once you're a Nazi, you no longer deserve any freedoms. And I think one of the big reasons there are so many video games in which you fight against and kill Nazis is because that is like the last demographic on Earth that is just considered entirely wholly evil, and it's perfectly fine to just do horrible things to them because they're Nazis. And I'm totally cool with that. I agree. If there's any group of people on Earth that we should hate forever, it should be the Nazis.
Yeah, because the attempted... I don't know if it was considered genocide or if it's just attempted genocide.
He wanted it to be genocide for sure.
But
he definitely wanted that.
But yeah, once he tried that, it's totally okay to hate on them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you think you're a good Nazi, you're just a Nazi at the end of the day.
Let it be known right now that this podcast and everyone involved in it fucking hates Nazis. So we should. I mean, I feel like we'd just be ripping off Sark and APL here, but we really, that's a series of games we could play. Is we could co-op both run through all of the Sniper Elite games, because the older ones are probably pretty cheap now. I have 2. 2 was the first one that got super popular. The first one I remember playing a long time ago, and holy shit, that game's hard to look at now. Hasn't aged well.
2 is $10. So there's Sniper Elite 3. Sniper Elite 3 is $30.
Huh. Seems like a lot for as old as those games are, but anyway.
Sniper Elite 4 is $60.
Jesus, that game's still $60 even though the 5th one's out? What the fuck?
I mean, yeah, you know how things are. And then, actually, the 5th one's $50.
Our newest game's cheaper than our older game.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But in keeping it with manga anime, I have paused on the TV right now Dragon Ball Super Superhero, which is, I think, the most recent thing in Dragon Ball. This is finally where I've arrived at, is I'm at the end of watching all of Dragon Ball media.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through it. So, yeah.
Nice.
But I was like, oh, podcast, pause.
Yeah. That's fine.
Something I waited all of Super to see that I didn't realize wasn't in Super was Orange Piccolo, and I'm gonna finally get to see Orange Piccolo, so that'll be neat.
Interesting. Is that like his Super Saiyan form?
He just had the dragon unlock all of his latent potential, so yeah, probably Super Saiyan Piccolo, just Orange Piccolo.
Fair enough.
I don't know why, green, orange, doesn't matter what color Piccolo is, because we all know Piccolo is black.
Yeah. But
even though Piccolo's voice actor is a white guy. But Piccolo is black. After watching the last movie, which I think was Broly, which I went to go see in the theater with Johnson, but just forgot all of because I wasn't paying attention when we went to. You came too, I think.
No, I did not.
I feel like you did. I feel like me, and Johnson went to that.
I don't think so.
I know we all went to go see It Part 1 and
when we were
in theaters, and then we almost started a fight, and you were incredibly inappropriate that whole movie. And
I mean, that movie was just bad. let's be honest.
It wasn't good, but yeah, I remember almost getting in a fight in the theater in Anacortes just
Yeah.
because.
I mean, those people deserved it because
They did. Like, what the fuck?
they were taking it way too seriously for how bad that movie was. Like, sorry, fans, it just part one sucked, and I'm never gonna see part two because part one was that bad. Like,
Yeah, I like the original It with Tim Curry. That was pretty good.
yeah, like that movie, it didn't take itself seriously, and that's what I liked about it.
And it was a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah,
Like, all the actors involved were like, we're not making Casablanca. I mean, come on.
yeah, like this
isn't
fine.
The Godfather. This is made-for-TV It.
Yeah, so that was definitely what I liked. Plus, I mean, the books are really fucking weird, anyways. Like, let's be honest. Like,
Stephen King's a really fucking weird guy.
like they all went and fucked the same girl as kids, and so like
Yeah.
I'm all good on never reading that because nah.
Stephen King's he's a guy, all right.
Yep.
Fucking weird one.
Oh yeah.
He's got a lot of other great stories that could have been adapted into film and TV works, but weren't.
Yep.
Instead, they make I don't know what the most recent one is, some shit about a farmer or something. And I'm just like, why?
I don't know.
Of all the great stories in Nightmares and Dreamscapes, why did you adapt a shitty book about a farmer? You know?
I mean, they just been not doing so well because, like, apparently Dark Tower was really bad. The one with Idris Elba was, like, really not a good adaptation. So
It's not always easy to turn a book into a show or movie.
Series.
But speaking of, I had recently watched and told you should check it out. I think it's a Showtime original, or maybe it's HBO, but The Offer. It's got Miles Teller in it and a bunch of other actors whose names I forgot. But it's about the making of The Godfather, the movie, and adapting, Mario Puzo's book into the film and having you got a loud fucking keyboard, my man.
Got him.
Got him. Yeah, just hit images on it. You'll see it's a very excellent period piece. It's very much of the time. It looks great. A lot of the actors they got to play, the actors look, similar. It's good.
I remember him.
Yeah, he's Miles Teller. He's in other things.
Yeah.
That movie about the drums, and I think he was in. He played Goose's son in the new Top Gun, I think. Yeah. But the guy they got to play Coppola, who's Dan something. Fuck. Dan Fogler, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, what a great casting for Coppola. Looks like Coppola, acts like him. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Great. Brando, dude, I don't know who they got to play Brando, but he looks like Brando. And yeah, I knew some of like the lesser known stories about the making of The Godfather. Like the studio absolutely didn't want Pacino because he was a theater actor, never done any movies.
Yeah.
They didn't want Brando because Brando was in Hollywood jail because of Mutiny on the Bounty. Anybody who doesn't know, the story of Mutiny on the Bounty is that Brando went off to this island in the Pacific to make Mutiny on the Bounty and took a shitload of money from Hollywood to do it, and then put like no fucking effort into the movie and said fuck them and bought the island and then stayed there and didn't come back and left his wife and married some hot chick he met out there. Jesus. Put in Google Images Mutiny on the Bounty and you'll see why. There's a great picture of him standing next to her, and every time I saw that, I was just like, yeah, no, I get it. I understand, Brando. Okay.
Oh, her?
Oh, no, there it is. Yeah. He's like, I go back to Hollywood, my plain Jane ass white woman wife, I can keep doing pieces of shit for Paramount. And then he's like, I think I'm gonna just buy this island and just stay here. Like, oh, I get it, Brando.
Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he married her, stayed there. It's still called Marlon Brando Island. If you look it up on like Google Maps, it's still Marlon Brando Island.
Oh my God.
And
Oh, God damn it.
yep, Marlon Brando Island.
Hi.
And there's a resort there. It's called the Brando. It's
He goes it open, man. Nice. Good for him. Bam.
yeah. He did eventually return to Hollywood, and his first, real like big film back was The Godfather, and they didn't know. Oh, is it gonna be a hit? Is it gonna be good? Well, Marlon Brando won a fucking Oscar, so. Yeah. But there was drama around that because Pacino was also nominated for an Oscar for that, but they had it backwards. They had Brando as the lead and Pacino as a supporting character.
Ooh.
Actually, that was the other way. Pacino was the lead, Brando was a supporting character, but it's whatever, Pacino deserved the Oscar for that. He didn't even go to the Oscars for The Godfather. Brando didn't show up. He sent that Indian woman instead to talk about, all the things America and Hollywood has done horribly to her people, and
good for
they
him.
booed her.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is...
Because it's important to remember that the people who go to the Oscars and hold the Oscars are pretty enormous pieces of shit.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
But yeah, the offer is good. Check the Oscar out. Or the offer. Not the Oscar. Fuck the Oscars. Watch The Offer, though. That was good. The Godfather's good. I got so high up on The Godfather after watching The Offer that as soon as I finished The Offer, I watched The Godfather. And it still holds up. I don't want to hear bullshit from film critics about Citizen Kane. I don't give a fuck about Citizen Kane. I think The Godfather is the greatest film ever made.
Citizen Kane is it's overrated. I've seen it twice, and both times I just didn't really care.
I have also seen it twice, and I get it. Oh, Kubrick, he's this genius. Whatever, man. I'm not interested in the film.
Yeah,
I'm bored for most of the movie.
And maybe it would be better if I hadn't seen as many films as I had, but seeing as many as I have, the twist at the end of it being, his little sled is so... It's not a good reveal. It's just... That's very... Honestly, that's just bad character writing. If his whole life was based around this one happy memory, he was this very rich man and he couldn't find his own sorry, that's just terrible character design.
Yeah, if you're that rich and you can't find your own happiness, the failure is you. It's not society or life or anything like that. Believe it or not, money can buy happiness. Absolutely, it can. When you don't have to worry about bills, you are free to be much happier about things.
Yeah.
I'm currently free enough that I don't have to worry about bills, and I've probably never been happier. Everyone's like, "Oh man, you're alone. You don't have a girlfriend. You don't hang out with friends or anything." You're like, "How are you happy?" I get to come home and lay about and do pretty much whatever I want. I watch interesting things on TV. I play video games I enjoy. I cook meals that I like. I do what I want because I can. Of course I'm happy. I'm doing what I want.
Exactly. You're not working and then coming home exhausted for 6 hours of barely sleep just to get up and do it again. And
if I were
2 hours of traffic... bumper to bumper.
If I were living, typical... Oh, excuse me. The banana's making me burp. If I were living a typical middle American lifestyle where I, wake up at 6 and shower and put on my uniform and I go to work in my factory for an 11-hour day and I come home to my round Midwestern wife and the 2 kids I didn't really want, but the condom broke, and I ate my bland dinner, and then I went to bed and I woke up the next day and I did it all over again. I'd probably shoot myself in the fucking head, but I don't do that. And it's oh, don't you want a normal life? No, I don't want a normal life. That sounds fucking awful. I'm perfectly fine with my atypical life because I'm not normal. I'm atypical. I can't survive in a normal world.
That's the thing is like because I'm talking to an Indonesian chick again because they're I like them,
Indonesia.
but
They're a pleasant shade of brown.
exactly.
Yeah. Brando got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, there you go, buddy. You're Brando.
But
Mutiny on that booty. I think there is a porno called Mutiny on the Booty that spoofs Mutiny on the Bounty.
I'm sure there is. They've made fucking.
If it exists, they've made porn of it.
Yeah.
That's like Rule 34. Not always DeviantArt. Sometimes it's just like actual porn.
Yeah.
Google it. Google Mutiny on the Booty. I bet it's a porn. I'll Google it. Fuck.
Yeah, because I'm gonna use my recording, so that's.
Oh well. Make sure that we're in. What do you call it? The fucking on Jitsi Meet, we're in the fucking tiled mode where we're next to each other and we're the same size.
Yeah. I did.
I can't find the actual porn, but I do find a lot of links to the season 2, episode 4 of The Girls Next Door, which was called Mutiny on the Booty.
Nice.
So
hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Remember that show? It was just a show about 3 women who lived in the Playboy Mansion. That was a wild time. The early 2000s, you know?
Simpler
what
times.
A time.
Simpler times.
Yeah. Who'd ever thought we'd look back on them? You know, we'd look back on early post 9/11 America and be like, those were the days. Well, yeah. Shit was pretty cool, you know?
Yeah. Life was simple.
It's definitely... Times are weirder now, you know?
Yeah. It's
not in like a good way though.
No. Nothing gets better. Like,
things only ever get worse.
Yeah. But that's fine, I guess. Not like we can do anything about it, so.
Yeah, there's very little like as an individual you could do to change the world around you.
Having fun there?
I'm just trying to keep the camera aligned to where I want it to be, and it keeps moving.
Well, there you go. See, it does it for me too.
Yeah. I think it's not our computers. I think it's just Jitsi Meet, which is the free Zoom website that we use.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't complain. It's free.
Exactly.
It works great. Like when I've had high quality video this whole time and audio. Like I can hear you clearly. I can see you. Like I'm free. Who the fuck would pay for Zoom or like Microsoft Teams? Or free ass website.
You know, try and use Skype or any of that bullshit. Like it just.
Dude, fuck Skype. What is it? 2006?
I mean, whatever is free, but I don't think even Skype's free anymore. I don't know.
I don't think so.
But yeah, that's fine. We got this. This is easy, and it makes the room always a funny name.
Yeah.
Level pushes border high.
It auto-generates those. I don't even type those in.
Yeah, exactly.
The one time, like a couple times I have typed them in, it's just been like when we're not recording and it's just you and me and the boys, big chilling and hanging. Yeah. I love it. I put the link in the group chat that one time, and there was like that link looks like it's going to give my phone a virus. Like it's not. We've used it like 100 times. Yeah. This is a very nice website actually.
It like the link definitely makes it seem sketch, but yeah.
It's a sketchy link, but it's a like a condensed parsed link. So I mean it's
fine.
It's not just www, you know, like a regular link. But yeah,
it's just what it needs to be to get you there. But oh man,
yeah. So I am done with my first week of my 2-week job.
Nice.
Yeah, back to it tomorrow on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to do. Are you doing school with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The days that I go to school, but because I needed an X amount of hours, there were a couple days last week where I just didn't go to school and I went to work instead and worked all day. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Your college is a lot more lenient because I know when I went to college, they had.
I didn't tell my instructor till after when I showed up, and I was just like, "Hey, I wasn't in class because you and I both know I need like 160 hours in this 2-week period to like have a C for that last quarter that I had an F in. So
Oh, geez.
you understand, I'm working as much as possible to pass so I can graduate. Yeah.
Yeah. That way you can go on to the next
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I think I should have like a further discussion with him about like how unfeasible it is that, I mean, understanding the extenuating circumstances, nobody expected me to get fired the day before my internship quarter was supposed to start, but I did illegally, and then, you know, all the resulting bullshit, which has kept me from being employed for that.
Yeah.
That time, you know, is budgeted for people getting hours to work, but like now, because I am doing it late, because this is the only place I've been able to work for a length of time in that interim, like it's ridiculous that I'm missing school to complete work as schoolwork.
Yeah.
It's like, why weren't you in class? Like, well, I have to pass last quarter right now because it's the only time I can, and to do that I have to work somewhere at a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so maybe like removing the internship portion of the classes and like teaching us something else. Like,
yeah, that's a weird way to grade. So I don't know how that.
Yeah,
but it seems like it has to be a bit more fluid just because of how the grading is going, because it does rely on you having a job and doing.
Well, it made the hours worked such a large portion of the grade that like everything I was doing all quarter long and looking for work, like I couldn't count any of that as hours worked, even though I was here at home on the couch on my computer working my ass off to try to gain employment and try to get the lawsuit going properly.
Yeah,
like none of that counted as work because I wasn't in a shop fucking changing oil.
Yeah,
which you know, have decided, like, you know, I don't think a diesel technician is what I want to be. I've had like 2 years now of experiencing it, and it sucks fat dick actually a lot of the time. So probably not what I want to do until the warehouse project starts. So I'm probably just gonna continue with school to do something else, to continue going to school to make GI Bill money by going to school and paying my bills that way, while also learning something valuable, and something infinitely valuable in building cars and making things is welding. So I'm probably going to do that. I don't want to be a pipeline welder either.
Yeah, no.
So the neighbor just started the guy, it was across the street. Not the other veteran who lives across the street with the hot young wife who's always in booty shorts. The guy next to him, I think he works for some factory or something. He's got a old Hemi Chrysler with like no exhaust, and I just heard him start it up. You might be able to hear it on mic.
No.
Yeah, I just heard it fire up, and just my head turned. I looked out the window, and I can see it says gray. I don't know what it is. It's not a Satellite or a Polara or like a Roadrunner or anything. It's a 60s mid-size Chrysler. I don't know which one, but it's cool, and it's a Hemi, and it's pro streeted up. You know, it's got big back tires, and
hell yeah,
fiberglass on hood and shit. It's not like a race car, but it looks like one. You know, so it's his thing, and it sounds good. And you know, no one's ever complained about my loud ass cars. Probably because he's lived here longer than me, and he's got them too. So
hell yeah.
But welding. I don't want to be a pipeline welder either, and I'm not gonna be. No. But I'm gonna go to school to learn how to be a good welder. So I'll be able to build all our crazy fun projects.
Yeah, make them have good welds. That definitely will help sell, because people like that shit. But
so that's my plan going forward.
Hell yeah.
Finish school, graduate, right back in school.
Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it really just needs to last 2.5 years till I basically.
And it will.
And then I will be starting my schooling for CAD as well as composite fibers, which should take up to when I start my next career, working in Damneck. So, but yeah, that's the plan for that. But and then in that time, we'll just have to find me a decent car, because
a daily.
Yeah, daily that I'll keep, just because I'm probably the 300ZX that we had talked about, just because it's the things I want.
Yeah, I know you were thinking 300ZX because they're an excellent platform, but they're also still like a comfortable and pretty nice car just to drive.
Yeah, and like what I want done to it is very minimal because I honestly just think they're pretty decent as is. So
yeah, are you wanting to be like true NA, just a well-built V6? Are you wanting the twin turbo? Because
the twin turbo is going to be more expensive. They nowadays go for like 20 grand.
That's too much for
what it is.
I mean, I know Skyline boys and shit are going to disagree, but man, it's entirely too much money for a fucking 30-year-old Nissan, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, you don't understand what it is. Like, even like muscle car guys and shit who are like, oh, you don't understand what it is. Like, yeah, I get it. It makes you feel young again, and you think your dick still works. Like, no, it's not. It's a piece of shit as a car. It's got a big motor. It's a bright orange color. It's got huge back tires. It's cool, but like, it's not a great car.
No.
Like,
at the end of the day, it's still the 30-year-old car that.
Yeah, I was talking with my boss about this a little bit on Friday because somebody had brought up like square body Blazers and pickups, and I've been like, yeah, like I've had a couple of those, you know, just in growing up when they were like cost like $1,000.
Yeah,
because they were just a terrible old truck, because they are just kind of a shitty old truck, like, you know, well, they're dependable, they're cool, they get 8 miles a gallon and they're rattly as hell and they're really heavy and they're brick shaped. They're not great cars. Like, yeah, I've had them. I know what it's like to drive them and to own them. Like we've had several in my family. Like, yeah, but they're it's like 15 grand for a basket case that needs floors and new quarters and a rebuilt engine and like a ton of work. And guys like, what? It's a square body. It's K5. Like, yeah, it's a piece of shit, man. Like they always kind of were, you know. Like, yeah. Well, it's off-road. Do you off-road it, or do you just drive it around town hoping people think you look cool? Because, I don't know, pick a country singer had one in his music video. It's fucking, you know. Car inflation, I hate it. It's dumb. It's fucking pointless and stupid.
Yeah, hopefully, looking at what has... there we go.
Even to, like, the higher extent of like the Countach, it is ridiculous and stupid that they cost as much as they do, because they're a terrible fucking car. Like, they look awesome, they sound really cool. Back in the day, they were pretty fast, you know. It was in Cannonball Run. Oh, it's cool. Yeah, great. Awful fucking car.
Yeah, but they are
awful car.
They are. It seems like cars are kind of going down in price a little bit.
The more that older people continue to die, I think they will go down in price again. A lot of that's already starting to happen with like, you know, late 40s and early 50s stuff, because all the fucking boomers are dead.
Yeah,
and you know, it's like
they're dying, and
they're like, oh, I'm gonna leave this 53 Chevy sedan to my grandson. Like, well, he doesn't fucking want it.
No.
He wants a 300ZX twin turbo. He doesn't want your fucking old piece of shit Chevy. He's probably going to sell it and try to buy a Skyline that he wants, you know?
Yeah, which means
it's just a generational thing. Yeah.
Especially with the...
So that'd be cool. I've got hope yet that I may someday have a 57 Chevy Nomad.
Hell yeah. Yeah, like...
Because some boomer's going to die, and I'm going to buy it from his grandkids who don't know what it is.
400, especially like this. I saw this and I was like, oh shit, the prices are going down, because I remember they used to be like 700.
Yeah, the SLR was always expensive, and it's not like a cheap car to maintain or drive either.
No,
so like you're paying you're paying a lot of money for it, and then you're continuing to pay a lot of money for it all the time.
And this being less than a million is also a pretty good sign.
Yeah. I watched that, I think it was Squid's video about the GTR and how when the GTR came out, it pretty much just shit all over the LFA and Toyota's effort to build a supercar.
Yeah, I appreciate the LFA for what it is. I love them. I love the engine. I love what they did to the car, like how the interior is basically made for the engine to resonate properly. One, I
Yeah.
don't like paddle shift cars. I fucking hate them. And
Yeah. I
two, it's a single clutch fucking paddle shift car, so when it shifts rough. And it's like I get it's reliable, but if they had waited a little bit longer, like they could have got switched. They could have just had double clutch, and it would have been a lot nicer. And but three, because everything is made of unobtainium, every little fucking part in that car costs like thousands of dollars. Even the fucking F on the side is handcrafted, like fucking built like milled aluminum out of a single block. So it's like even the fucking F on the side is expensive. So
Yeah, when the badges for a car are expensive too, like that's like, come on, we've gone too far.
yeah,
Like, let's get real here.
like I like it, but I would rather just have a model of the car, just because.
Yeah, I like it too in the form of like the Gran Turismo video game, but like I don't want one
No,
for real.
no.
It's like Mitsubishi 3000 GTs. I've always liked it, like in Gran Turismo. Very cool, neat four-wheel drive twin turbo
They'll never break
V6
down.
car. Never breaks down in the video game, but in real life they were atrociously heavy, not entirely powerful enough, and a lot of the systems on them broke very frequently.
Yeah.
So cool looking car.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic looking car, but just
Bad car. Bad car.
like if we were to go and get one, I'd want to go and strip out all the electrical.
We change everything about it except for the body. Like, no longer a transverse V6, no longer four-wheel drive. It's got a longitudinal V6. It's rear-wheel drive. We made it way lighter. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
So it actually
we basically fixed it for Mitsubishi.
which
They'd have hired us back then.
Yeah,
Would have been a hit.
like I mean that's always a possibility. We could do one of those for fucking if people ever took interest in that.
We could create one that's like that. And, you know, it's a serious kind of lightweight track special, and we could make it the Jackie Chan edition that Mitsubishi never made, because Mitsubishi had Jackie Chan edition cars for a while.
Yeah.
He had like a long contract with Mitsubishi, even going back to
Yeah.
was it not Temple of the Eagle or something? But there's some movies he made in like not long after like Cannonball Run. He was in some movies, and he like exclusively drove Mitsubishis in movies and like was always endorsing them. Like he's got a long relationship with Mitsubishi. It's a shame they're such a piece of shit car company now.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of them are because they just the things that made them great, they just stopped doing. And
We only
it's been
build what
boring.
sells now.
Yeah.
What sells? Mid-size crossover SUVs.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, the Jackie Chan edition Mitsubishi Evo 9. And, I think they've done something else.
I mean, those are the ones we know about here in America because
Yeah.
fucking Jalopnik or whoever wrote a piece of shit blog post about them.
No,
But
yeah.
like, what the fuck was that movie? Armor of God was the second one. It was the sequel to something. But these are like mid 80s movies. Like, these aren't 90s movies when people knew who Jackie Chan was. This is before Rumble in the Bronx. Like, you know, this is a while ago, and he was like a heavy Mitsubishi ambassador in these movies. He drove a weird Mitsubishi concept car in one of them.
Apparently, Armor of God is part 1 and 2. Because Armor of God, and then Armor of God 2, and then Chinese Zodiac is the third.
Yeah, go to just images of that movie. I'm sure there's one of that weird Mitsubishi concept car he drove in that movie. It looked a little bit like a Fiero or
Yeah,
something.
Armor of God. And then, it also inspired others, including the Medallion, the Myth. Yeah, it was followed by a sequel, Armor of God 2, Operation Condor.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, just click images. Yeah.
Good God, that's ugly.
Yeah, I know, but still, like, we've got this weird, crazy, you know, show car concept that we built. Jackie Chan's like, "Can I have that in my movie?" And I'm like, Yeah. So it just did.
Fuck yeah, yeah. And there's
With his
Jackie
Evo,
Chan.
yeah.
Jackie Chan edition.
Jackie Chan, much like Burt Reynolds, was not an actor. He just was a stuntman who ended up being an actor.
Yeah, yeah, because he was first in that one fucking movie with Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee as an extra.
Yeah. I saw an outtake for one of the Rush Hour movies between him and Chris Tucker where they keep messing up lines and Jackie Chan's like, your mother's ass. You know, he says it and Chris Tucker's like, your mother's ass? Why you say that? And he's like, I don't know. That's what Burt Reynolds said to do. Like, it's like, because like you watch old Cannonball Run bloopers and shit, like Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds, every time they fuck the line up, they're like, your mother's ass. I don't know why they do that. It just did.
Oh man. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Speaking of Cannonball Run, there was that fucking I found it on YouTube, so I ended up watching it.
Apparently the remake's in development.
I don't want to think about that. It's gonna be gross.
It hasn't been cast and they haven't picked a director, but it's in development. Yeah. And then that makes me upset because it shouldn't be. Unless I'm in it in a Burt Reynolds type role and I'll have large creative control of it like he did, then I can make it correct. What
was that damn movie called with John Candy?
Speed Zone.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Cannonball Run 3, but Hal and Burt walked away, so they were like, fuck it, we'll make it without you, and then they made Speed Zone. And the Lambo. The Countach skips across water. It goes so fast.
Which that was a funny fucking scene, because basically that scene was like a grandfather teaching his grandson how to fucking skip a stone, and his grandson wasn't getting it, and then you just see the Countach go, and the fucking kid's like,
skip across water. I think I get it now.
It was great.
That was a pretty good movie.
Like, I liked it just because I like John Candy, and I don't remember this guy. I've seen him in other stuff, but I remember I never, like, he's the kind of guy that has a punchable face, and
it's like, Eugene Levy.
Yeah, he still has
This is the dad from American Pie.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him something.
Which is really the only thing people know him from. He's the dad from American Pie.
Yeah.
Little did you know, before that, he was in 1989 film Speed Zone with John Candy.
And then the I guess the grandfather in Everybody Loves Raymond is the sheriff in this movie.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can probably just get rid of John Candy from an ill show.
Speed Zone 1989, yeah.
Yeah. Trying to see if I can fucking.
Yeah. Great looking Countach, gotta say.
Yeah. Yeah, like it was a pretty ridiculous movie, which I mean they always are, but that's fine. I like them.
They were good, because they were ridiculous. Yeah, Brooke Shields.
Fucking. Oh yeah, that's Cannonball Run.
Yeah.
Doctor. Yeah, that's the thing is you're getting some bleed over because they're both basically like the same movie.
Yeah, I mean, how many movies can you make about
there we go.
the wacky antics of a cross-country race? Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely a good fun movie, for an hour and a half. If you got anybody who wants to watch it, it's on YouTube. You just Google Speed Zone.
If you like old cars, it's a neat time waster.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to watch. Definitely nice to turn your brain off to, because like for some reason they go on like one of the scenes is somebody hijacks a plane, but they beat the shit out of him, and they're like, oh man, we went and the pilot went to help beat the terrorist up, and so the plane just started driving on the runway.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna drive to your destination. So they're just driving the plane on the road, and they drive the plane through a police barricade, and it just keeps going. And it's like, okay,
things you couldn't get away with now.
Okay, yeah, like literally, it just shows them just driving the plane on the fucking runway, and just no one has any problem with it. Like the passengers are looking all excitedly out the window and all that shit. And it's like, okay, really fucking weird, but
Goofy, cheesy 80s film.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, the only other big thing I had on the thing for today was just talking about the Kyoto trip I went on.
Yeah, spill it.
Sorry, one sec.
Sorry to everybody listening with headphones. We burp a lot. It's we're gassy men. Happens.
Indeed, it do. Let's see. I think I posted them in our men of culture chat. I just have to go through.
You did post a bunch of pictures, yeah.
Yeah, I just have to figure out which.
Just go to your Instagram. Shit.
Yeah, damn it, I'm not finding it. Actually, I found it. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, I'll put. There we go. So, one of the restaurants I ran into was fucking closed. Sorry, I'm stoned. Which is fucking wild. I ended up seeing a Lancia Delta Integrale, which was nice. Really pretty, but nice little fantastic car. There's actually a few cars I took pictures of, so hopefully I can see. Oh, here we go. So the tightest parking spot. So hopefully people can see just how like crazy, because
that's pretty impossible without that being like a pull out space that you can drive on and off, and then like
there's
push
not
it in,
a
like
lot
a
of
thrower
room.
like that. Yeah, I don't know how he did it.
Like
I don't think I could do it. Not in a station wagon.
No. So I don't know how the fuck. Like I don't know why. Like why would you want to live there? Like just pay some place to put your car in. It can't be that expensive, but yeah. And then I also saw this really nice 964 Porsche. Fucking beautiful. And oh my god, like they're so pretty. But yeah, there was those. There was this beautiful, because basically I just started walking around Kyoto, and that was like the amount of temples that are in. It's a very big part of Kyoto is just having a lot of temples. Very spiritual place. So, like, this is one of the places that I was just walking back to my hotel, and I just walked into this temple, and then took this beautiful picture. Like, Kyoto is just overall very aesthetic. I found fucking a second, it was a 3-story floor? No, it's actually 5 stories, I see. Like a sex shop, fucking tango shop.
Hell yeah. That looks like the entrance to like a Don Quixote or a Yodobashi there with the escalators and shit.
I know, I'm like it.
But if you go downstairs, if you take the secret brown door, it's a sex shop. Where did Ponce and I found it? Fucking, we were just walking around Busan and stumbled across like the penis museum.
Hell yeah.
With like wood carvings of dicks outside and shit, and I was like, "How is this appropriate?" And they're like, yeah,
the museum.
Cultural differences.
Yeah.
Penis museum.
Hell yeah.
Museum of dick.
I went to the Kyoto Manga Museum, which really goes over the history, and is like, for some reason, manga magazines are a thing. But it's for grown men and women.
Yeah, man. Shonen Jump, baby. But Shonen Jump is birthed most of my favorite creative media.
I mean,
ever.
These aren't Shonen Jump. That's like
yeah, that's adult shit. Yeah.
But
no, I've bought some of those too, just while on deployment, because that's cool though.
Yeah, like I feel like this probably never got translated, so like I want to find out what the series is, which I should really need to like take a picture and like fucking translate, because I can kind of read Japanese, but like kind of that weird font. So
I can't at all, but I do see Bridget Bardot down there in the corner in English, and I'm like, is that supposed to be Bridget Bardot? Is this about early 60s F1 racing? Like,
I don't know. I'm gonna have to find it, because like while I'm here, since the reason I bought most of the manga I am is because it was never translated in English, so I want to have it, and it's
translated to English.
Yeah, because like I've been in talks with some fan translators, and they've actually they're like, cool. If you find anything, let me know. I will absolutely. If you scan it in, I will absolutely translate it. It's cargo.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, the old first
Sailor Moon, my person who I talk to is a huge Sailor Moon fan. She just got a Sailor Moon tattoo.
Nice.
I like her a lot. She's cool.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball, and whatever that is, that's ridiculous, and I love it. Little K car, Rolls Royce grill K car.
Yeah. I was like, I've never seen anything like it. It's fucking tiny, but
balling on a budget.
And then they had the whole Kyoto station was full of these, and all of them have a different like design on them, and so they're really pretty. They lit up at night.
Hell yeah!
Little bamboo forest, a strawberry crepe.
That looks so delicious. I might go get a strawberry cheesecake ice cream bar out of the freezer and eat it on podcast and just be the worst kind of podcaster eating. Yeah, you sent that picture to the group, and I was like, that looks like Washington. Boo.
Yeah,
it just looks like outside right now.
Yeah, because this is Fushimi Inari Shrine. It's the fox shrine, and it was absolutely dumping that day, like rain. Like you could see.
Hell yeah! I'm all about the fox shrine and the foxes. I really want Ghosts of Tsushima to finally come to PC so that I can play it, do a playthrough of it, and pet the foxes.
I wish it would, but it probably won't.
It's supposed to this year, and there's also this year there's been a lot of talk about Phantom Liberty, and
that would be nice.
I love Cyberpunk, and I'm never gonna stop playing that game, and I can't wait until they make the next one. But what really disappoints me is I don't think they're ever gonna finish the ARG now.
No, probably not, just because they're gonna focus on other stuff.
That's something I know you and I had wanted to do, an actual real like Cyberpunk themed podcast. I might save that and prepare for that to be on August 20th.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, August 20th is the day Militech Alpha and Omega teams, Alpha team led by Johnny Silverhand and Omega team led by Morgan Blackhand, nuked Arasaka Tower. We might do a big Cyberpunk live podcast that day.
Hell yeah.
Just to celebrate the nuking of a corporate headquarters.
Should happen more often in real life. We don't advocate for terrorism, but
I mean, no, because it all of Cyberpunk Red, and the reason it's called Cyberpunk Red is in dealing with the aftermath of them nuking the Arasaka HQ. They called it the time of the Red, when it really fucked up the atmosphere and the weather and everything all around the Earth.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't that big of a nuke. It was a half kiloton, which is a 15th of the size of, I think, Little Boy that we dropped on Hiroshima. Mm-hmm. But because it detonated on the 120th floor, it was technically an airburst, and it fucked up like the entire city center. Yeah.
But yeah, this is the one of the two. They're each the other one's different. I just didn't get a picture for some reason. So it was pouring, and I really didn't want to be in the rain any longer.
That is a cool statue, though. Yeah.
Then all the fucking
the Tory gates.
Yeah. But
I do love me some Tory gates and some cuties.
Which for anybody that wants to go there, read the fucking signs, because there was a ton. Because I went there during cherry blossom season, but unfortunately I missed them. They had all died by then. There was a ton of foreigners there, and you're supposed to go through these this way and then leave a different way. You don't walk backwards through these. Like
it's a path. You walk through them and out of them. You don't walk around in them.
Yeah, you don't turn around.
Follow the path.
Like it's one way.
I'm in a couple of Facebook groups about Japan, and it is always fucking bland white people asking the dumbest fucking shit possible.
Yeah, I was in a few.
Is it safe to drink the water in Tokyo? Yes, dickhead, it is. It's the largest fucking metropolitan area in the entire world. Why wouldn't it be safe?
That's why I left.
You're a fucking idiot. You're the kind of person who should not travel. Please don't. I'm probably going to get kicked out of that group soon because I'm always mean as fuck to people.
But they need to use common sense.
Hey, I just landed in Tokyo Narita. Can anyone recommend a reasonable hotel by the airport? Yeah, Google can, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I don't like those kind of things. Just use common sense, people. Like, if it's really cheap, it's probably cheap for a reason.
I'm bringing my 2 11 and 12-year-old kids with me on my trip to Japan. Will they be safe walking in the streets? No, the Bloods and Crips are going to murder them. Fucking retard. Yeah, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. Don't travel. Don't travel with people. Don't travel with your family. Don't have any more kids. Someone like you shouldn't. Please stop reproducing. You're the worst of humanity.
That's the reason I left, like, because I was on a few of those for Reddit, and everybody asks the same questions, and they're always dumb questions.
Is it culturally rude to take pictures of geisha? Well, it's rude to take pictures of anyone without asking, but no, fucking do it.
Yeah, like, that's not
nobody's gonna beat you up. You're not gonna get arrested. Like,
the worst case scenario, they're literally gonna go and tell you to delete the photo and please don't take any more photos. They're pretty much used to, you know, dumb Americans. So, like,
will we be looked at if we wear kimonos? Yeah, probably because you're white. But like, do it. Yeah. Live your holiday.
Yeah, like, they don't really care. Like, they're pretty much used to most of the shit that you Americans and everybody else is gonna do.
They're used to Americans being fucking dumb and making asses of themselves.
Yeah.
In Japan, so just do what you want to do and do it anyway, and live with being ridiculed by actual Japanese people. I always did.
Yeah, like, oh man, you're gonna be ridiculed by people you're never gonna see again. Who fucking cares?
Yeah, it was so freeing being in other countries and just like Johnson and I sang a karaoke song together. I'm pretty sure it was a Drake song, and it was just like, I would never do this in my life. Like, if I lived here in this city and knew these people, but like,
yeah, you never
people don't even speak the same language as me. I don't give a shit. I'm never gonna see them again.
Exactly. But yeah, there was that. There was the RX-7. I actually saw it 3 times.
That's a good looking car. Looks a lot like your car.
Yeah, he has a different front bumper. And obviously in Japan you can use these blue headlights, which is really weird. And he has the rims I do want. Yeah. He has the rims I love.
Those look like the 17-inch Enki wheels that came on RX-7s.
Yeah, the Spirit R style BBS rims.
Are they BBS? Yeah. BBS Enki. They made a similar wheel at the same time, but yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is that spoiler.
Yeah, it's.
I like the stock OEM spoiler way too much.
It's designed well and it looks really good. It looks period correct and it looks right on that car. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, so I saw that a few times. That was really nice. And then this was the other one thing I saw that was really fucking neat. And
oh hell yeah! I love that when you threw that in the group chat. A fucking 80 Z28 with Kragers on it, rolling through a tiny ass street in Japan, probably stinking like gas the whole time.
Oh yeah, I took a picture and the dude saw, and then I gave him a big thumbs up, and he went and gave him a back. Like, he was smiling. You could tell he was having a good
Japanese
time.
Guy.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude! That guy gets all the yellow pussy he wants.
So yeah, that shit was that was sweet as fuck. And then the other big thing was I took a period correct, because just like it was back in the history books, a temple with construction tarp all over it. But,
and scaffolding.
Yeah, like, it actually was really pretty, I will say.
Not a lot of people know that in 1500s Japan they had aluminum scaffolding all over their temples to protect them. Yeah, that's why they survived so long. Yeah, they were built so well.
God, but yeah, that was a big chunk of it. There wasn't a few other things. I'm trying to see if I have them in my photos. So we went to a. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. We went to a fucking really nice alcohol shop. It was like a whiskey museum.
Oh hell yeah!
It really wasn't a museum. It was like actually just a regular shop, but they had. The most expensive one I saw was... How's that fucking photo? God damn it, I don't have that photo anymore. It was a $17,000 bottle of whiskey.
That's
It was a lot of zeros.
I wouldn't even drink that. I would just display that in a case.
Like, I literally...
Behind my home bar. Like, you couldn't drink that.
No.
You paid that much money... I can't even fathom something you consume costing that much money.
Like, I would like to go back just to get a nice bottle, like, not that expensive, obviously, but like a $500 bottle of whiskey.
A couple $100 for like celebrations. Yeah, like I've got
like something like that.
We've had like nice Yamazaki and like Hibiki before, and like I've got a $110 bottle of scotch in the freezer that like Tanner and I had like a drink each out of, and like it's gonna stay in a freezer of some sort for the rest of my life probably because I don't drink anymore, and I so rarely have things to celebrate with scotch. But
Yeah. Yeah, like,
I'd love to one of these days come visit you there when you have time off, and I can arrange a vacation there, and I'd like to like tour the Yamazaki brewery with you.
yeah,
I
we can
think
do
that'd be
that.
a cool thing to do.
I mean, I have nothing but time because basically the one qualification I was trying to work on before I work on the final one is pretty much just never going to happen because my team is a bunch of dicks and they just don't really want to do that. Don't want to support. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I was trying to help you guys out. This doesn't help my eval. Like, it doesn't help me in my next thing. Like,
I don't care at all. I was trying to be nice to you.
so
You don't want me to be nice. I'll just be a dick.
So, but yeah, I just read books at work all the time now. Like, I don't give a shit.
Fuck them.
I do that and I fall asleep and like I don't really care anymore. I'm fucking over it. So, but yeah, so I would like to go and get a nice fucking bottle of whiskey just for when the warehouse is built or when we finish the project and all that kind of shit. But so I might go back or just
Hell yeah.
go somewhere and just buy a nice bottle. But after
It's
you
not
visit
not to say like I'd have to visit even while you're still there. I could just wait till years down the line when we can just afford to go back
yeah.
on a trip for the channel or whatever,
Yeah, and that's the thing. For you visiting, I mean, you can definitely do it before I leave. You just have to let me know. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind
Expensive.
helping. I don't mind helping pay for it. Like I have no problem with that. Just because it's
I would feel horrible about that because due to us having both had many military itineraries, I know what a
Yeah.
trip from SeaTac to Tokyo looks like.
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I would never ask anyone except for the government to pay for that for me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it just is an option because I mean, obviously, I don't like flying, so I don't really want to fly once I get back to the States. Like I'd rather drive.
I don't like flying either.
I,
It's the lack of control that I don't like.
yeah, and it doesn't matter how much you pay for a seat anymore. You're always crammed in there with a bunch of people, and it's like I don't like that.
Yep. Air travel used to be a luxury, and we have turned it into public transport.
It's like a city bus anymore. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's become like basically like shipping, and instead of shipping goods, you're shipping people. Though like air travel used to be like a really luxurious, like expensive thing that only fancy people in suits did, and they smoked on the plane and drank champagne, and now it's like fat Midwesterner shows up in sweats with a neck pillow and
Yeah.
takes his shoes off as soon as the plane's in the air. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Where do you think you are right now, dickhead? Like,
It's
put
just,
your goddamn shoes back on.
yeah, like we don't want to smell your feet.
Sit up straight and smoke a goddamn cigarette like a man.
Jesus. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, we'll see. We can talk more about that because obviously I'll be here for 2.5 more years. So because like it would be easiest to have you come while I'm still here because like I have my SOFA license, so I can literally drive. Like if you wanted to, you could get your international driver's permit, so you could drive too. It's not really hard to do. But it'd be mainly in case you wanted to drive some of the JDM cars to give them a shot. If there's anything you're interested in.
Not really. And I mean, there are JDM cars I like, but none of them were ever so JDM that we didn't get them in America.
Mm-hmm.
Like I also like the 300ZX and the RX-7, like, but also those were sold here.
Yeah.
Like the only thing really that wasn't is like the Skyline, and it's like, well, it's the fucking 2-door 4-wheel drive sedan. It's just the performance version of that. We have things like that in America, and I've driven and ridden in them. So I mean, I'm like, it's a straight 6 and a turbo. Like I get it. I know probably what that's like.
Mm-hmm. And especially because we will have the R32, that's fine to wait on. It would be mainly like the other ones because, and I mean,
and of the Skyline experience, the R32 probably is the best one. Short wheelbase, it actually turns. It still understeers, but it's not the heaviest.
and it
Yeah.
still gives you some feeling of driving. While the 34, I have driven and I did not like it. It just, as I've talked about before.
It's like playing Gran Turismo, wasn't it?
Yes, there was so much electronics in it that it just, I didn't feel like I was driving.
I'm driving a laptop.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand. It's just not what I want in a car. It's not what I like. I don't want a car that is... God, I think it was Jason Kamila in one of his podcasts.
Kamisa.
I can never say it. They talked about how a car that's good at everything is just not great at anything. And I think the R34 is good at everything. It's just I need something bad about it to make it feel like something. Like,
yeah, it's a simulation versus simulacra.
It needs to be.
It's like having an actual girlfriend or like an android that looks like a woman who summons to your every beck and call. It's like I could never do that. I wouldn't be able to do that. It's so inorganic. It's like
something.
The R34 is like the uncanny valley of motoring.
Yeah. 100%.
Everything's perfect, but everything's too perfect, and nothing is so off that it seems real. And it unsettles you, and it makes it unpleasant.
Like, it has a comfy interior, it looks nice, it has good enough power, it steers well, it brakes well, it does everything really pretty well, but that's the problem, is I need something bad about it. I need something that I could change, because I could never change anything. The only thing I could change would be just removing power steering or something. I need to change something.
Yeah.
It's...
If we ever get one for the warehouse project, and we have the track by then, I'll drive you around the track in it, and I'll show you what it does badly. That I know it does badly, but it's hard to make it do. That's understeering really badly in low speed corners because it is so heavy and so much of the weight is on the front. But you can sort of counteract that by changing your driving style and doing left foot braking and trail braking, like Walter Roll had to do in the Sport Quattro. But yeah, that's like a lost and dead art since the end of Group B. Really, is trail braking and left foot braking, and to make a car turn better.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to go and be able to put one of those on our track, but as we talked about earlier, don't see those going down in price ever. I only see those ever going up. Even the sedans, I only see them going up in price because of the newer generations that just grew up on the Fast and Furious, and them not being able to obtain a coupe, they go to the sedan.
I think the R34 will go down as more and more different cars funnel through the cultural zeitgeist. I mean, the R34 got super popular because of Fast and Furious, but they're about to be done making those movies. Paul Walker's been dead for some time now.
Yeah.
He was really the only one in the movie that liked the R34 Skyline because he drove one of the old Motor X cars.
Yeah. And I mean,
that's why there was one in Too Fast, Too Furious, even though it was always the most improbable fight. We just found it sitting at a desert car lot. No, the fuck you didn't, because those were never sold here. Someone would have had to go to incredible lengths to import that and then abandon it at a buy here, pay here lot. Dude, no, no, none of this is real.
Yeah.
None of this is real.
Plus he went and he got all the parts while he was on the run from the FBI.
Yeah, he was paying cash to rent a shop and work on it, and then a paint booth, and he painted it silver. No, you're not. He raced a Ferrari through some public park in Atlanta. No, you did not. No, this is all fake. This is the fakest shit. Yeah, so Too Fast, Too Furious is probably the worst offender in the fakest shit in those movies.
Oh, yeah.
Up until they started fighting secret agents for control of the world. It's fucking so dumb.
Oh,
those movies are so dumb, man.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. When the new one comes out in 2 weeks, I think. Which I don't want to go see it. Speaking of fucking that, though, you actually reminded me. they actually just released a trailer for a old forgotten video game series. And that is
Forgotten by whom?
pretty much by time, because the last time they released a game was PS3, and it didn't sell well. Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I shared that.
Oh, did you?
The trailer for the TV series. It's got Anthony Mackie in it. And
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett. Yeah, I don't know who's playing Sweet Tooth, but the guy looked a little too fat to be Sweet Tooth. But
I mean,
depending on which iteration of Sweet Tooth you're going with, there's been like 11 different Sweet Tooths. But yeah,
I don't know. It can either go really good or really bad, and I'm leaning more towards really bad because of how TV's been lately. But it's also Peacock, and I've never seen any of their stuff they've ever made. So,
Peacock's NBC, so I mean it's going to be an NBC level show. There probably won't be it won't be anywhere near as dark as Twisted Metal Games actually were.
I mean,
it looks like they're trying to make it like a goofy comedy, and I'm like, well, that's not going to work at all.
No, because that's the thing is, especially Twisted Metal Black which was the dark.
That was just full darkness. That was like too edgelord darkness for me. I didn't even like it because I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, some of them were very interesting in the way they took the characters' plots, like, in totally different ways than I expected, but it was just very overly dark for almost nothing.
Black's, I think the reason for that is Black is unique in that it's the only game that takes place entirely inside Sweet Tooth's head.
Yeah.
Black doesn't actually happen. It's not real. It is all a Sweet Tooth hallucination.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't have high hopes for it, but sometimes it's nice to be pleasantly surprised. But we'll see. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't really think.
If anything, it's sort of like the Edge Runners effect. At least it will be making Twisted Metal popular among people again. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe they'll make a new game again that doesn't suck this time.
Yeah, hopefully.
Probably not.
Probably not. I honestly think that they've probably just kind of done with it, making those games, because if anything, really just rematch with the old ones, and I'd be fine with that.
I'd love if you could remaster or remake sort of the old games in a collection and cohesively make the story actually make sense game to game this time. That'd be cool, but I don't think they're going to do that either.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that. It's just one of those things that's just kind of not withstood the test of time, so it's gonna stay in our childhood memories unless you go and find the ROM or you find a PlayStation 1 disc of it. But
yeah,
that's fine.
And the ROMs are all available on Vim's Lair and sites like that if you want to get a PS2 emulator and fucking run them. I mean, shit, you don't even need a PS2 emulator, but there aren't a whole lot of fucking PS1 emulators out there, so you can just run it through the PS2 emulator like I usually do. Yeah.
Speaking of PS2s, my PS2 is, I believe, being held up in customs right now. So we'll see.
That's right. You got a PS2 to play those old PS1 games you have.
Yeah, my Kingsfield games, because I really wanted to play them on the actual console. Because I tried playing them on a ROM, and it did not work too well. We'll go with it was just a big.
Yeah, they don't always. Yeah,
but it's fine. I mean, it's whatever. Like, it happens. I understand. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Track this shit. Where the hell is it? It's still being held in customs. So we'll see.
How long has it been in customs, or did you just find out that it got there?
It's been there for about 2 days now.
Okay, well, usually,
so it's fine.
From what at least when things are coming into America and they're not organic things, when they're electronics or mechanical, the usual customs time is 22 days coming into America. So it could be a while in customs for Japan. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's supposed to be delivered in 2 weeks, so it still has time.
Yeah.
But, and then I think that was really it, just because right now, so I was supposed to drop my car shop. I'm supposed to drop it off the 15th. They went and they messaged me a few days ago asking if I could drop it off the 4th, but unfortunately, because I have medical appointments, I had to refuse.
Yeah.
Also, I took time off work specifically so I didn't have to get a rental car, and so dropping it off earlier would kind of defeat that purpose. So.
Right. And that's for spoiler going on and hooded spoiler getting painted?
No, that's for figuring out what's wrong with the turbo.
Right.
I still haven't gotten a call back about the hood being repainted and the spoiler mounted yet, which that's fine, because really the turbo is the big problem, and trying to figure out what's the cause of that leak. If it just, the nut...
Has it gotten any worse?
No, it still just drops. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, well, that's good then.
Yeah.
It hasn't gotten worse. It can't be that serious.
Yeah, exactly. So, basically once that's taken care of, then really I'll be fine for a while. Shoulder's getting better, so I go tomorrow. I go to medical and for basically a follow-up, and they're gonna see what to do next. But I'm also gonna ask if I can start scuba diving again. So I might if I can. I might try and invest in a GoPro of some kind.
GoPro with like a head mount or a chest mount down there,
something like that.
Video some scuba diving.
Exactly. Throw that on the channel for something new. Just because
man,
it's pretty fun out here. It's nice. The water's pretty good temperature all year round.
Yeah, I was on YouTube earlier. I saw your car build's got like 45 views. Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Way more than any of the shit I posted. Hell yeah.
It's fine. It's all about building views slowly. Like once I finish, I gotta go and finish editing the car video, but really that's just a lot of cutting and splicing and all that, and just making sure everything. So I'll probably end up doing that this weekend because I have one medical appointment tomorrow, and then I have the next few days off. So I'll just kind of go tomorrow to that, get groceries, and then that way right after that I can come home and edit that video together and throw that up, and then probably throw this up because I'm probably going to be lazy until I have to go to work. I'm not going to lie.
I feel that, and I do the same shit.
Because I gotta go.
What are you gonna do this weekend? Not a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's all I had on the agenda, just because it's.
Yeah, I've really got nothing else. I'm gonna eat some snacks and watch Dragon Ball Super Superhero, and I talked about it with Johnson and I think with you, but I really want to I don't think I have the hard drive space to do it all at once, but get all of like every series of Dragon Ball, every episode, all the movies, and then edit them all together in such a way that it makes everything in it canon, and have it just be one long video. And I did some math on it, and I was like, that'd be a 13-day long video. And then I'd want like you and me to like, you probably couldn't obviously because you would never have 13 days off in a row, but I would just, if I was off from school or whatever, I would just live stream myself one 13-day stream of me watching it from start to finish.
Jeez.
And that could be like a new Twitch challenge, is like the Dragon Ball challenge. It's like every piece of Dragon Ball media in one video.
Oh, yeah, you'd want to do 2 cuts. One where you fucking do intermissions, add in intermissions every so often. And then another one just straight that you just have to pause it whenever you need to. But, I mean, we can do that once I get back to the States and I have nothing but time.
What if I ever get some settlement money from Pepe, I could build a PC? It'd be something I could really easily do. Because at most what I'm doing, it would just be like cutting out the mid-roll ad break segments from the videos. Because, there's always the pause in the middle where they do the little Dragon Ball intermission thing.
Yeah.
There's one of those in every episode, so that's like 8 minutes an episode right there you can get rid of. Then intros and outros, if it's all just one cohesive story. You eliminate the pulpy part of the intro to the episode where it just rehashes the last 40 seconds of last episode. But now you've cut down, a 30-minute Dragon Ball episode to like 19 minutes.
Yeah.
And you just, it's like, oh, there was like 200 episodes of Dragon Ball, though. Like, okay, well, that's still only like a couple hours, and that's one series done. But then there's all of Z and then Super, and then there's all of the movies, and it's just, yeah, there's a lot. There's like 13 days of consecutive watching with my estimates for editing down, so I haven't even like actually attempted it yet. So.
And then you probably could cut more if you wanted to cut out some of the filler episodes too, to just make it.
I wouldn't want to do that because some of them I think are important, but there's definitely like 2 or 3 filler episodes that I just fucking hate. The filler episode in Super where it was the one with the little robot girl from Toriyama's first cartoon, and I was like, this episode's terrible, this is awful, I hate this. And in that episode, Vegeta said multiple times, like, there's no way she's so powerful, she must be a joke character from an 80s gag anime. Like, it's just Vegeta said that out loud. And then by the end of the episode, he's like, I'm never fighting a character from an 80s gag anime or manga ever again. It's just like, yeah. This is a pointless episode I could just get rid of entirely.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we can definitely, that can be a thing.
Yeah, that'd be a fun thing to do.
Play that on Twitch.
Even making like a YouTube video about the process of making it all into one video. I thought about how I'd do it too. I'd like wait until I had like a nice beard going, and then I would record myself like walking over to my little calendar on the fridge, and I'd be like, that didn't take as long as I thought. And it would be me with a beard, and then I would just shave my beard, and I would go back and film the same thing again. I'd be like, I bet I could do this. And then it's one at the beginning, one at the end. I bet I could do this. By the end, I've got a beard. I'm like, that didn't take as long as I thought.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
If you really want to make it really good, just go and put like a fucking sticky note with a fucking single number over, or 2 numbers over the fucking year. That way it's instead like you start 2023, you end like 2043.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna dye my hair gray and stuff for the end part of the video. Some fake spray and gray show. They're like, hey, it didn't take as long as I thought. I'll hunch over and I'll like hold a cane. I'm like, it didn't take as long as I thought.
Jesus Christ.
I bet I could edit this whole thing in like a week. Show the calendar. Calendar goes from January to like November. It's like, yeah, it didn't take as long as I thought.
Yeah, that can be a thing. And then, yeah, we still have to do the Cyberpunk talk, which, if you want to do the 20th, then I'll try and make sure I have off that day, even if I need to take some leave, because I'm going to
prepare. I'm going to have we can talk about what's portrayed in the game, and then we can talk about how Johnny's memories are unreliable, because he's imperfect as an engram because he was already dead when Spider Murphy used Soul Killer on him. Actually, it wasn't even Arasaka that did it. Yeah, we can also talk about that and how he's an unreliable narrator, and how like even his body, when you go find it in the oil field, like his body's not even actually buried there. His body's somewhere else. There's a whole story in Cyberpunk Red about Johnny's body and where it is. It's called Black Dog. The same guy, I sent you his channel last night. He's read that story as well. I like his narrations because he reads the stories. I don't like his narrations because he reads at like a 5th grade level and he doesn't pronounce words right all the time. But
yeah, I don't know. I might just wait till you talk about it then, rather than watch someone half-ass it. Because I was gonna watch that after.
Yeah. Yeah, there's 2 pretty good stories from Cyberpunk lore books about what actually happened at Arasaka Tower that day, and what happened like after the towers fell, and then there's the whole story of Black Dog about Johnny's body and the aftermath and everything, and where it is now and who has it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Do you want more lore books, by the way?
Do I want more? I think I have most of them, but yeah, absolutely. As many as I can get. Yeah, I've read them all numerous times. I'm going to start buying some. I'm looking on Amazon to see just people who have them used, and even just our Talsorian Games, their website, what they have. So
yeah, take a picture.
There's also they're not lore books, but just cyberpunk books that like Mike Pondsmith has signed off on that are pretty good. So I'm looking at some of those too.
Yeah, take a picture of what you have and then let me know what you plan to buy. That way I don't buy you doubles.
It's gonna be a big picture.
I mean, you can take multiple pictures, but
That's true. Yeah.
yeah, that way I don't buy you doubles, and then because obviously we don't need two of the same book.
I keep that motherfucking fang on me.
Jesus, yeah. Good God. Yeah.
Home of the Braves, a good one. Talks about Santiago Aldecado, the father of Rogue's child. Which, yeah.
He is in the
Rogue has a son, which you only find out if you do the Rogue ending. And it's a character from Cyberpunk Red named Trace Santiago. He's a media. He's a reporter.
Hell yeah.
But also, before we end, one last cyberpunk bomb to drop on people. Alt, the construct alt that you meet beyond the black wall. It's not really alt. That's just another rogue AI that took the form of alt.
Interesting.
Yep. Also, the black wall. The black wall is an AI. They say NetWatch built it to keep the net safe. NetWatch built it because the rogue AIs told NetWatch to build it and helped them build it because they don't want people interfering with what they're doing beyond the black wall.
All right.
Thank you, Raish Bartmoss.
Jesus.
The data crash gave us it let loose all of the rogue AIs. That was what it did. Raish Bartmoss was alive in the net for like 7 years after his body died.
Jesus.
Yeah. And I'd like to think there's a way his I don't want to say his construct, because that's just game terminology there for engrams and stuff, but his consciousness, I'd like to believe, survived the data crash somehow, and he's still out there on the net. We know where his body is. We find it in the game.
Yeah.
May or may not actually be him, but
yeah. I don't know. It seems a bit weird that his body ended up in a very easily accessible freezer.
So he was hiding from NetWatch and most corporations for a long time, and the way he hid himself most efficiently was he had a 100-year lease on a cryogenics container company to maintain it, and he just put himself in it, hooked up to life support systems, and he had everything automated. And then eventually his body died, but his consciousness survived on the net because he was jacked in when he died, and that's how he got in touch with Spider Murphy. And all of Raish Bartmoss's Guide to the Net was written by the now dead Raish Bartmoss. So he wrote one book with Spider Murphy, and then he helped write two other ones while already dead. And then I forget why. I think it's because his signal his signal had finally been picked up on, and I think Arasaka was finally tracking like his signal on the net, and they were gonna find him on the net to like delete him, wipe him, whatever. So he hopped into a private room with Spider Murphy, confessed that he always loved her, and then he said, I'm really sorry for what I'm about to do. And then he set off the data crash and released the rabbits. Then he destroyed the first net. That was bad.
Yeah.
Bad motherfucker. Yeah, I'd like to think he survived that somehow, but I don't know. Spider Murphy did. I don't know why there's not more of her in the game, because she's fine. She's alive. Probably. Morgan Blackhand, we don't know if he's alive or dead. He hasn't really decided either. He's alluded to in the game. There's a news broadcast where they talk about some forget the name of the agency, but there's some agency type guys who are all, there's like 11 bodies found dead in a bar somewhere in Pacifica. And they said witnesses report the only survivor of that incident was a sort of short gray haired man with a black cyber arm who was seen fleeing the scene. And I was like, well, that's Morgan Blackhand.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Phantom Liberty and continuing the story. I hope it's lore accurate. I hope.
I'm pretty sure it will be because usually Mike Pondsmith's working with them on that stuff just to make sure no one fucks up his lore, his world.
Yeah, man, he's Mad Mike.
I know they're supposed to drop some more information in June. Was the last I heard about it.
I'm glad Idris Elba's in it. I think it's cool. I think people on the internet are wrong. He's definitely not Morgan Blackhand. Morgan Blackhand's a white guy. He always has been.
Yeah, like just because he has black in the name doesn't mean he's.
Even Mike Pondsmith has said Morgan Blackhand looks a little bit like George Clooney. Like.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We do have plenty of pictures. There are pictures of him in the
many.
Yeah, so
I'm glad that at least with Alt and Johnny, they kept it pretty lore accurate. Alt looks like, the drawing, the original art for Alt. Mm-hmm. Not in lingerie this time, but she was wearing clothes. Although we do see her naked, so. But Johnny, yeah, the biggest thing about Johnny they changed was his eyes, but okay.
Yeah.
Fine with that.
Yeah. Not a huge loss, but I don't think they're gonna, if they've spent this much time making sure that the world's lore accurate, they're not gonna go and change the ethnicity of one of the big characters of it.
one of the greatest solos of all time, who's very famous.
Yeah, so it's.
Yeah.
I think it's someone different. It's just I don't know who, but that's fine. I mean.
Yeah. Even minor in-game characters, they did very well in lore accurate, like Shaitan.
Yeah.
You get on board the helicopter to radar Asaka Tower, and Johnny's like, "Hey, Shaitan!" And I was like, "Holy shit, it's Shaitan! He looks exactly like he does in the book. He's full Borg. Yeah, hell yeah, dude."
It's yeah, I'm pretty confident that they'll go and they'll be pretty accurate, just because it makes the most sense, and that's.
Can we talk for a minute? Just talk about how much they fucking nailed it by getting the band to be the band Samurai and the Refused.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of anyone who would have done as good a job. Like it. I don't care what's written in the books about Samurai before the game came out, but like the Refused version of Samurai, that is.
They did a very
what I believe Samurai always was. They did an amazing job.
And it's nice because they definitely, if they wanted to, they could have them record more stuff because they are still around. So you can have
I believe they're going to, though, because there's still Samurai songs mentioned in lore books and in their discography that haven't been released yet. And one of them, like they talked about, was Archangel, and then it was like a year after the game came out. Like they actually did release a song for Archangel, so that's a song now, and I love that song.
Yeah,
that's such a good riff, man. Just makes me fired up every time I hear that.
Still need to build your guitar.
I do still need to do that and learn how to play again.
No better time than now, buddy.
That's true. Aside from school, I do have lots of free time, but I'm also quite lazy.
That's fair. That's why, I mean,
enjoy
for starters, I would just say buy a decent electric and play on that.
Yeah, I can buy like $100 music store brand.
Yeah.
Stratocaster ripoff. It's black, and then just
learn on that.
Eventually, I'll cut it into the shape, and then just yeah.
Just something to think, but yeah, I think that's it for today. So we'll call it here. I don't know what time it is there for you.
6:40.
That's not
p.m. So yeah.
I'm gonna go and eat some breakfast, and otherwise just relax till I gotta go to work. So
I'm gonna eat a pizza Lunchable and watch Dragon Ball because I'm an adult.
Hell yeah.
That's what adults do, kids. We eat Lunchables and we watch Dragon Ball. All right, man. I love you, brother.
Love you too, fam. I'll catch you later.
Hell yeah.
See ya.